Hey everybody, I'm Sean. Welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode, we are at another new location. This time we are at Little Bow Reservoir. We are about 200 kilometers or 120 miles south-southeast of Calgary. This is a PP1 lake, and it is catch and release only for both pike and walleye. We're going to be targeting pike today. I'll always take a walleye if we catch one, but I'm purposefully targeting pike. There are also some other species here apparently. There's also perch, whitefish, and burbot, and you can actually keep those, but we are not targeting those, or I'm not targeting those today. I'm out once again by myself, although my wife joined me today to go out paddling because it's a beautiful day here on the August long weekend. So looking forward to getting out and trying a new location and seeing if we can catch a fish. So let's get on the water. Okay, so out here again today, joined today by my wife. Decided to come out and do some recreational kayaking. She's not fishing, but decided to spend the day out here together, which is nice, and check out this new location. So we're just gonna do a little bit of paddling around to get the lay of the area here and see if we can find some decent pike habitat. So far, a couple of promising locations. Cruising this 3-meter watermark again that I'm often cruising at this time of year. There's been fish picking up on the screen, and I'll probably oscillate between 3 and 4 meters today because it's pretty warm out. The fish will be in a little bit deeper water. This lake does have some really deep water, I think up to 30 feet in the middle. So if I was going for walleye today, and there are walleye in here, this is where I would be targeting, is the edge of those drops out in the deeper water. But since I am targeting pike, I'm going to stick in the shallows. There are probably some bigger pike out in the deeper water, but I want to see if I can land a few smaller pike first. So that's the first step. We'll see what happens. All right guys, I think I actually might have a fish here. I don't know, but I thought I saw a splash, which would indicate a fish. It is not fighting at all, but pretty sure there's a fish. It is a fish. No fight. Little pike. All right. First fish on, woohoo, on Little Bow Reservoir. Look at that. Right on. Nice jumps. Right on. All right. Little tiny pike. 21-inch pike. All right. Just taking a break here from paddling. It's been a pretty slow day fishing, but we're not going to give up yet. Just trying some new areas, and it's actually one of the reasons why I stopped. We get a lot of text messages asking us how we pick the lakes that we fish at, how we find them, and how we find the spots on those lakes. It's a lot of research actually, but it's not that difficult. So one of the things that we do first is we go online and we check our local sport fishing regulations. So in Alberta, the Alberta Sport Fishing Guide is actually pretty handy because it'll tell you what all the regulations are for each individual lake, and that then also tells you what type of fish are in that lake. So if you see a lake that has a keep limit for northern pike or a keep limit for walleye, then you know that there's some in there. A lot of lakes in the southern part of the province are catch and release, and so it'll say 0 like it is for here. but at least it gives you an idea if there's fish in that lake. The second thing that we do is we go on FishBrain to see if anybody has caught any fish in that lake recently. Now, you got to be careful with FishBrain because some people will lie about the location that they caught the fish. I've seen that a number of times, even here in Alberta, where people lie and say they caught a fish from one place and they've actually caught it from somewhere else, or they actually get mistaken. So as an example, for today's location here at Little Bow Lake Reservoir, a lot of people confuse this with what they call Little Bow, which is actually Travers Reservoir, which is just to the west of here, very close. And so people also call that Little Bow. And so some people have logged catches from Little Bow, from Travers, sorry, at this location. So you just have to be careful about that, but sometimes it'll at least tell you if people have caught fish at the area you're going to. You can also check forums. For me here, it's the Alberta Outdoorsman Forum. There'll be people who post catch reports once in a while, so that can help. And you put all that information together and you can find out some lakes that have fish and whether or not people have been catching them. Then once you decide to go, how do we figure out where to go on the lake if it's a brand new lake? Well, a couple of different ways. The first one is Google Maps. Google Maps are great if you've got high-res satellite imagery of a lake that you want to go to. It's perfect. You can check it out before you go and find those areas that you think have points or shallows or bays, etc. We use that. Now, some of the lakes don't have good resolution, but there are other resources, and today is a perfect example. The government of Alberta for Little Bow Lake here puts out a bathymetry map. This is a waterproof case that I have, so I can print it out, and if you look at it here, you can see where all the shallows are. Anything in red is less than 2 meters. You get into the 3 meters, which is typically where we usually fish, and you're into the yellows, and then you get into the deep areas. These really blue areas here in this lake are up to 10 meters deep or 30 feet in a few spots. So there are a couple, like I said, few deeper spots. I'm kind of skirting in the yellow right at the moment, and so that's where I've been targeting, and we'll see how that goes. It's been a bit challenging to pick anything up today, and I've had to vary depths. I started in that 2 to 3 meter range, picked up that one little one, and now I'm into trying the 3 to 4 meter. And I did talk to one guy who had a lot of success out here today, so they are definitely out here somewhere. I'm just not picking them up. So there's a couple coming across right here. As you can see, I'm in 3.6 meters of water, and there's a couple coming across at a meter. So I've been marking a lot of fish. I'm just not getting a lot of bites today. So anyway, that's how we find our lakes, and also how we find our spots in our lakes. I pull out that map every once in a while if I'm in a bay and want to see the depth, so it works pretty well. All right, I'm gonna get back to fishing. Been out here for about another 2 hours. Man, it is slow out here, but just picked up another one using the Northern Pike swim bait. This one feels a little better than the last one. Definitely fighting better. Oh yeah, gotta keep pressure on it. I don't really want to lose this one, considering how many I lost on the last outing. It's really hitting hard, lots of head shakes. Gotta be getting close enough for me to see it soon. Oh, there's gonna do a run. Lots of head shakes, lots of head shakes. Yeah, that's a better sized pike, for sure. Oh yeah, that's a better sized pike. That's a good one. Yeah, he's gonna run now. Yeah, saw the boat. He's gonna run. This might be my biggest one of the year so far, I don't know. There's a good sized pike right there. Oh yeah. Woo! All right, look at that. That is a beautiful fish. Oh man, does that feel good. Some nice weight there. Oh, and thick. We're gonna get a weight and a measurement on that one. Oh, I don't want to lose that. All right, guys, just one more shot of this fish beauty before I let it go. I'm gonna try to do an underwater release. That is a nice looking fish right there. Almost 30 inches, almost 5 pounds. So a little bit about my tactics on that last fish. As I said at the beginning today, started out in relatively shallow water looking for some of those small pike and wasn't picking any up. But one of the things I noticed when we came out here is that this lake in a lot of areas has a relatively clean bottom. I was looking for weed beds and I couldn't find any. Close to shore, it's sandy and rocky and, like I said, relatively clean bottom, which is not your typical pike habitat. And so paddled around quite a bit before I just caught that fish until I found this area over by the dam here. And what you can see on my scope right now is it says I'm in 6.4 meters of water, but if you actually look very carefully at the Garmin Striker 4, let me clean it off a little bit. If you look very carefully at the Garmin Striker 4 right now, you'll actually see that the bottom is showing up at 4, and that's because here's hard bottom at 6.6 meters. And everything above that, there's 2 meters of weeds right here. This is all a weed bed. I was picking up fish just above it as I was going over it and thinking to myself, there's gotta be a pike sitting in those weeds. It's also a little bit deeper water, so it's a little cooler right now. And so I just started working that 6 meter water depth, but really it's only about 4 meters of water with 2 meters of weeds. And lo and behold, I got that strike, that nice fish came out of that weed bed and nailed my pike swim bait. So don't ever be afraid to switch up your tactics, because you never know, particularly at a new lake. Like I said, you got to try new things, you got to try new areas. There's a hit while I'm talking. There's another fish right in this weed bed again. This is a smaller one, for sure. Might have got off actually. Either that or it's really small. I think it got off. I don't know. Sometimes you can't tell. That was a good hit though. No, I got it. It's a, oh, it was a pike that was about the same size as the swim bait. Oh, that's funny. But anyway, just goes to show, as I was talking and working this weed bank, everybody, that sometimes you got to switch it up and you got to look for new things. And so that worked out pretty good for me. I'm going to keep working this weed bank a little bit and we'll see what happens. Still in that 6 meters here. This one followed for a while. I had a couple bites and I missed him. But then he hit it as I checked my rod. Some good head shakes again. Pretty sure it's a pike. Yeah. Oh, and barely hooked. Barely hooked. Oh! Oh, he got off and I got him in the net. Oh, that's lucky. So this time I actually got him as he got off the hook. That doesn't happen to me very often. 25.5 inches. Gone. All right, guys, just got another one. Another good scrapper. Good head shakes again. Maybe about the same size as the last one. Hit really hard. The other thing is I lost my last swim bait there. I was using that pike swim bait and I lost it, had a line snap. And so I actually didn't have a spare leader, so I'm fishing for pike without a leader, which is very dangerous. Very dangerous. So my line could break here pretty easy. I mean, it does help that it's braided, but still. Yeah, that's a nice fish. That is a nice fish. That's bigger than the last one. Maybe close to the last one, or the one I caught before it there. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good fish. Whew! That is 30 inches. It's my biggest fish of the day. 30 inches. All right, one last look. There's a big girl. Unfortunately, she's got an injury, so I'm not sure she's gonna make it. We'll give it a shot here. But I'm not convinced that she's gonna get there. No. Well, she's trying. See if she comes back up. She did go down. Got another one. This one felt really good when it hit, but it's not really fighting much now. Man, it hit really hard. Peeled some drag when it hit, actually. Now it's coming in like it's not even fighting. Oh, there's a head shake. And another. There we go. Looks like we found the depth here, guys. The depth is 6 meters. I was just at, ooh, that's a good fight. I was just at 6, drifting inwards, but another nice one. Another nice one. This might be even bigger than the last one. They just keep getting bigger today. Woo! All right. Look at that. Thick. Again, heavy. Woo! Get a measurement first here. Okay, that fish is just over 30, almost 30 and a half inches, but heavy. Ooh, I'm gonna get a weight. 4.8 pounds. Just a little bit bigger than the last one that I caught. Just a little bit bigger. Whew. Well, I think we're gonna call it there. Heading in here to the dock. It's a pretty good afternoon. I think fished for only about 4 hours, so can't complain. We're gonna load up the kayaks here and head back. This was just a nice afternoon outing, but good scouting trip. Nice to know, and maybe we'll bring Kieran here for a shot at some point. Now that we know that we can pick up some fish here and we scouted the area. It's always nice when you've got washrooms and a boat dock, which is not something we have at every lake we fish at. So sometimes it's a bit of a treat to have some facilities, and also the water here is really nice and clear, so that's always awesome as well. So all right, I will get up on the bank and do an outro. Okay, everybody, that's it. We're gonna call it there. As I said, pretty good day on the water, considering that we've never been here before and weren't sure about the conditions or where to find the fish. So started out pretty slow. As I said, had to change things up pretty significantly and ended up being a pretty positive outcome, actually. Caught those 6 fish, caught some nice ones, couple in that 30 range, which is pretty awesome, and close to 5 pounds. So I'll take that any day, and really enjoyed coming out here and trying a new spot, and hopefully I'll get Kieran out here in the future. So okay, so we're gonna call it there. Remember, guys, if you liked the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and until next time, good fishing.